Hello, everybody. A very warm welcome to another session of our broadcast. Thank you very much for being there with us today. We are looking for answers as to some very crucial questions around us. Take two, take two. Why do many people support their countries when they are taking part in major world football tournaments? Why the government put a lot of resources in financing their countries to these football competitions? These are a couple of questions that many people have been asking, and we think today is important for us to try to provide some answers. They may not be too, say, maybe too many, but we'd just like to provide a few so you understand why this is important for some nationals and for government. But I know sometimes that because of developmental issues that some of these countries have, some people don't see a reason to do this. But it's a very, very scientific exercise that I say sometimes is good to understand because as an individual, you never know when it will benefit you. You're welcome to joining me. My name is Baka Derek, and I'm happy to be with you on this very special broadcast on the City Stream online community TV. It's a property of Hilltop Voices Communications Group Limited. And of course, it's a kind of a community connection arrangement because we think it's just important to clarify this. I had a conversation earlier on today, the 17th of January, 2024, with my colleague on CRTV Northwest. And I realized from the reactions I received that many people have been asking these questions, and people may not be aware why, there's always a lot of euphoria around these football competitions, why government puts a lot of money, why so many people support, why people are passionate about their countries winning. Of course, so I took off time to try to put together a couple of answers for you, just to note that this brings a sense of national pride. But before we proceed, please do subscribe to our channel, share our content, and also like it. Leave a word for someone. Let someone know you watch this and you like the person to watch as well. We also remember that today is the 17th of January. It's a very significant day in the media fraternity in Cameroon, the day Martinez Zogo was brutally murdered. And of course, the matter is before the courts. Comments on this subject are limited because the matter is before the courts. And we think that a year on, justice has been relatively slow on this subject without any major sentences, despite the arrest that were made around it. And so the media fraternity remains broken, remains weakened by such actions that denote some signs of impunity against crimes committed against journalists. So that said, we remember Martinez Zogo. But of course, we're discussing why nations put resources. Why do people support their countries to win major football competitions? Don't forget, I'm talking to you at the time. The Asian Cup is underway in Qatar, the 2023 edition, just like the African Cup of Nations, which is underway in Ivory Coast, is still the 2023 edition. And so we're answering the question in this brief broadcast: why do people support their countries in these competitions? The first, as I started saying already, is national pride. You agree with me that supporting your country or supporting a country you love so much in winning football tournaments actually fosters a good sense of pride. And sometimes, of course, we've heard this over and over, it brings some unity among the citizens of that particular country. But most importantly, there is also the economic benefit that we're talking about. Just imagine that a successful national team at the Nations Cup will be taking home slightly above 4 billion francs CFA. In a country with so much weakened economic power, this could mean quite a lot if appropriately used in infrastructure development or healthcare development or education development and many other areas. You see that this can be properly used, or even development of the football itself. It can help. I mean, the economic benefits are really enormous because away from the money that comes from it, don't forget there is tourism, there is increased merchandise sales, and of course, sponsorships come around the country that wins the competition. So you agree with me that many countries will get attracted to your country if you eventually win the Nations Cup and your national team or other activities. You can get sponsorships. You can get a lot of things from your country being sold. I mean, your traditional dresses can be sold. Your food can make a lot of sense to many people around the world. And you see, even your destination becomes a tourist destination that many people want to visit just because they heard about your country winning a major football tournament. Don't also forget the cultural significance. This is very, very important because football is actually deeply ingrained in the culture of many countries around the world. And so winning the tournaments can actually have a very strong, significant impact on the culture and, of course, the identity and traditions of the people of that particular country. And you see what is happening these days. Many more countries, when they are hosting the tournament, they use it to valorize their own culture. They have basic things. Today, we're talking about the Nations Cup in Ivory Coast. Lots of people can now say Akwaba to mean welcome. It also goes a long way to explain that Ivorians are welcoming people. And so while we don't want to go to a country where the people are welcoming people to do your business, this is what it sells across the world, right? Also, to add to it, some social cohesion. Remember, there's a lot of tension, political tension, social tension in most of our countries. And so once the country rise up to the occasion in a major football tournament to win, there's that tendency that there can be some social cohesion that can be achieved. Because, I mean, the people get the opportunity from their diverse backgrounds to come together and celebrate their country's achievements. You agree with me on this, right? And so even inspires the youth because when the country wins, they are the young people that take part in the sport. Many young people of their ages and even the younger ones will be like, okay, so if this one could play so well and we win, it means I too can get there. Okay, so it's an inspiration for the young people. And so we'll never take it for granted. It inspires quite a lot of young people to pursue even their own sporting goals and lead actively, especially a healthy lifestyle because they want to practice sports, right? So you can see the extent to which it goes. If you want to practice sports, you may not be into smoking. You may not be into so much sexual activity. You may not be into so much alcohol. So if it inspires a lot of young people and they want to pursue a career in sport, you see that there is a drop in some of these things that are considered vices in some countries. Now, there's also this very important part, the corporate image for international recognition. I talked about this and lots of people were like, hey, we didn't know about this before. Yes, that is true. It actually has it builds a strong corporate image for that country and pushes for international recognition because winning such tournament actually raises the country's profile. Okay, that means on the global stage. And then enhances reputation. We used to say like a joke. There are lots of people who have had benefits because they say, I am Nigerian, I am from Cameroon, I am from Egypt, because their countries have been winning the Nations Cup. They have also been seen in major world tournaments. And so you get some privileges around the world because of your country winning such a major tournament. I think there's also some political symbolism when these countries do win these tournaments. Why do I say political symbolism? Because success in international football can actually be seen as a symbol of a country's strength and resilience. Okay, it is not very easy. It actually boosts the national morale, and so the political symbolism comes in the sense that people will understand that for this country to rise and be able to win this tournament indicates that they are actually strong. They're a strong nation, and so their politics, their debate on the international table or even the local table or regional tables can actually be different because you see them from a country with a strong youth that can fight at any instance to prove a political point. Don't also forget the issue of unity and solidarity. I made mention of this earlier, but it's good to come back to it to say that supporting a national team to win can actually bring a lot of people together regardless of their differences, and this also promotes a sense of unity and solidarity in that particular country. I've had several experiences where the country is actually broken apart by internal crisis and conflicts. But as soon as the country wins a competition as such, the trophy returns home. Everybody, at least even if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, or a day even, they forget about the challenges and of course celebrate before they come back to their senses. Of course, they always come back to their senses. Maybe last more. I'm not boring you a little, but don't forget to share our content, please, and to subscribe to our channel. Two more points that I actually noted down to be able to share with you to say that it is a serious psychological boost. When I talk about a psychological boost, I'm talking about what happens to a victorious nation. It is that it actually uplifts the spirit of the citizens and actually provide a welcome distraction from everyday challenges. Like I was saying before, it actually helps people to distract themselves because it helps psychologically. You just feel some warmth around you when your country is victorious at such a major football tournament. And of course, I'm going to end here by noting that the legacy and history of that country cannot be ignored because winning a football tournament actually creates a lasting memory or lasting memories, if you want, and contributes greatly to the country's sporting legacy, with players becoming national heroes and role models for future generations. Okay, there are many people that you can mention across the African continent as the Nations Cup is going. You hear JJ Okucha, you hear Abdou Diop, you hear Samoa Gyan, you hear Samuel Eto'o, you hear Roger Miller, you hear a good number of them, Mark Fish. There are a good number of them that you can hear, and you are, oh sorry, but they talk about Benny McCarthy, okay, of South Africa. There are many other players you can hold on to, and you'll be like, yes, these are people who've grown up to be national, international heroes or global heroes because of their achievements in football. I hope you like this video. Please, if you did, do share it with someone. Let the people know that here on the City Stream online television, Few Top Voices Communications Group, we do share some inspiring content that can help you make a wise decision. Please subscribe to our channel again. We'd like to see you back. I'll be back in no distant time with updates on the Asian Cup and maybe later the African Cup of Nations. Goodbye for now.